Yes, yes, I know. I'm a little late. I'm about 6 minutes late for Sunday school. Uh, but I'm glad you were patient and waited, I hope. Anyway, love hurts. And that's it for today. Okay. Now, love hurts and love heals. Uh, and love may not always be. As a matter of fact, it probably seldom is what we think it is. In 1990, okay, I had during one of my recurring periods of unemployment, I had the opportunity to seriously embark on an invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel, or my Holy Guardian Angel. And I used as my main format for the ongoing ceremony was Crowley's Liber Samic, and the which in turn is Crowley's version of that uses the format of the sacred magic of Abramelin the Mage. Now, you know I'm a lazy guy, okay, and I'm not going to do anything more than I feel is absolutely necessary, but I felt it was absolutely necessary to get a grasp on what that Liber Samic was about. So I grabbed a notebook, said that Constance probably bought me somewhere, and I called it the Emerald Tablet of the Emerald Tablet of Lon, or something like that. Yeah, I called it this. I've showed it to you before, I think. There. Good. And throughout since 1988, okay, I've been sort of doing odd literary jobs for Christopher Hyatt and his and his Falcon Press, writing an epilogue here, or just contributing little things to Bob Wilson books and things like that, and Hyatt was a member of our OTO lodge too. I'd initiated him, at least Minerval at the time, and so I was in touch with him. But I seriously started to dissect the Liber Samic to a workable, what I would consider a workable ritual and routine of meditation, study, and so it's not, Crowley really makes you work for it, as far as transforming his Liber Samic into a ritual, and I had to break it up piece by piece, and with additional material from other Crowley texts concerning it, so I could actually, first of all, stand up in a room somewhere and go through this, so that I could go through it enough so I could stand up in my mind and do it. Okay. Like I said, I had a little time on my hands. And I was going pretty good, and I talk about it here, and along about October 19th, 1990, Sun in Libra, Moon in Scorpio. I finished it up. I finished up the work book section by adding material from Crowley's Confessions and highlighting earlier this afternoon. And highlighting. Earlier this afternoon, I began memorization of sections A, A something else, and B. Following is a brief recap of the beginning of the project. Okay. Started to settle down pretty seriously. And on the second or third morning, because there's a morning and then do it several times a day, and I had a room all my own where I could do it, which was sort of a bedroom that led out to a jacuzzi area. But anyway, it was a bona fide little temple. Just when I got around to actually summoning or addressing the angel directly, the phone rang. And it was Christopher Hyatt or Dr. Ellen Miller. And he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, the invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel." And he says, "I've got an idea for a book." Funny you should say. A book that uses tarot as an extended ultimate divination toward getting the Holy Guardian Angel. And he asked me if I would like to co-author it with him because, first of all, he wasn't that familiar with the mechanics, the Kabbalistic mechanics of tarot. And so he would handle sort of the Jungian psychology end of it, and I'd handle the sort of magical end of it. And he said, you can co-author it with me and we'll split the royalties. And it was my first legitimate writing job offer. And instead of me saying, well, I really can't do that for another 22 weeks because instead, at the moment, I thought it was a cop-out, okay? I said to myself, this must be part of the ritual, okay? Because it was just too weird to dismiss as an irritation and too easy to accept it as my angel telling me something. And obviously, from that first book, it led to a complete change in my life and great work in the world. And I have to confess that I never completed the Liber-Somic operation as I laid out in the book, or as I expected it to unfold in my life. But I think it has nonetheless. I'd like to share with you the first thing that I ever wrote and got published as a co-author. Just not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to just read my introduction to it. And the name of the book, and this is the first book, it was originally titled The Way of the Secret Lover, Tantra, Tarot, and the Holy Guardian Angel. Now it's been republished under several other titles. Tarot, Tantra, Sex Magic, Tarot and Tantra, things like that. And it's by Christopher S. Hyatt, PhD, and Lon Milo DuQuette. And it's published by several of the Falcon presses under various titles, so you can still get it. It has Hyatt didn't like the images of my tarot deck, so he had David Wilson make copies of my designs, and so they look pretty much like my tarot deck too, you know, like that. But Hyatt thought that they were cleaner drawings, so that's kind of unusual too. But anyway, this is the first thing that I ever wrote. As an author or co-author. Each of us has a secret lover. A lover who waits just behind the erotic images that flood our minds during sexual arousal or in sleep. A dream lover who disguises as the individuals with whom we fall in love. An ideal lover who has adored us since the beginning of our individual existence and who will never abandon us until the instant we merge our being in absolute Godhead. We momentarily feel the embrace of our secret lover in the ecstasy of orgasm and in moments of rapture when the beauty of music or dance or visual art or nature overcome us. Whenever we experience a broken heart, it is often because another individual has not lived up to the perfection of our secret lover. The reason sexual experiences are often better in the imagination or memory than in actuality is because it's in the imagination that the secret lover is nearest to us. Personal relationships will always be somewhat disappointing or torturously heartbreaking, I'll throw in, to us, because in truth, there can never be a relationship that matches the one we already have with our secret lover. It's the secret standard by which everything else is measured. The irony is that most of us are not aware of our relationship with our secret lover. Surrender to, and I would add now, acceptance of, the secret lover is a central theme of most every religion. Yet the doctrines and practices of the world's so-called great religions tend to dilute, deflect, and deter the individual from the genuine personal experience. Moreover, the religious establishments have increasingly striven to convince their congregations or their faithful that this most primitive of all this most private of all religious events is not a personal experience at all, but an ambiguous and incomprehensible occurrence to be publicly affirmed and validated by a priestcraft. They, in turn, allow you to participate vicariously with them in a pantomime of the sacred marriage. It's especially ironic that the mythical life of Jesus Christ exemplifies in word and deed the central secret of this divine relationship. Many passages of the New Testament and the Gnostic Gospels or texts clearly reveal that the Christ is a projected image of a level of consciousness, achievable for all. And until this experience is experienced, until we have become one with, quote, Him, more accurately, it, okay? Subsequent higher levels of consciousness will be unattainable. Try as it might, the Church has found it impossible to completely obscure this most sacred truth from the hearts of devoted individuals. The ecstasies of the nun Gertrude and St. Teresa are unmistakable examples of sexual surrender to the divine lover. It was only because of their religious and cultural environment that the image of their lover was that of Christ. Had Teresa been a Hindu, her lover may have been Krishna, Vishnu, or any number of deities or even gurus of devotion. It's profoundly unfortunate that the forces of organized religion demand that as prerequisite to uniting with the divine lover, the faithful must subscribe to the most ridiculous collection of dogmas and absurdities. Myths turned into lies. Lies turned into laws, and adherence to the laws has replaced the personal experience of the myth. Is it any wonder that the modern mind has rejected such spiritual self-abuse? But isn't it sad that in doing so, the baby of truth has been thrown out with the bathwater of primitive superstition? The pages of history are red with the blood with the illuminated saints who were murdered by their respective religions for actually achieving the advertised spiritual rewards. In Western Hermeticism, this spiritual lover is called the higher genius, Adonai, or the master within. In the language of ceremonial magic, it is called the holy guardian angel. And union of the magician with this spiritual being is called knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel. The knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel is the primary goal of the ceremonial magician and must be achieved before any other meaningful magical acts can be accomplished. It is the holy guardian angel, the secret lover, who will be the magician's teacher, lover, mentor, and guide through the higher levels of initiation. Whether one considers oneself a ceremonial magician or not, the fact remains that the above experience, no matter what it's called, is a prerequisite for complete spiritual liberation. That was the first thing I wrote as an author. Hafez, the poet, wrote, "The woman I love. Because the woman I love lives inside you, I lean as close to your body with my words as I can. And I think of you all the time, dear pilgrim. Because the one I love goes with you wherever you go. Hafas will always be near. If you sat before me, wayfarer, with your aura bright from your many charms, my lips could resist rushing to you, but my eyes can no longer hide the wondrous fact of who you really are. The beautiful one whom I adore has pitched his royal tent inside of you. So I will always lean my heart as close to your soul as I can. And that's Sunday school for today. That's the sermon on love and your secret lover. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.